Hey everybody, how are y'all doing? I am so sorry. I'm a little late this morning. I know only 4 minutes, but still. I just got a complete surprise guest. Let me get my lighting straight here. I'm a little bit out of breath because I was intended to get gas in the house. It is absolutely freezing here in Georgia. Might not be cold to some of you people that live really, really up north, but for us down here in the south, it's cold, and it's been 48 degrees in the morning. And so I just moved into this house 5 weeks ago, and it wasn't cold then. And and so anyway, long story short, I just kept trying my best to turn on the heat, and it wouldn't turn on. Hey, Deanne. And anyway, I realized that it is not run by electricity, which is all that I had gotten installed in this house was electricity. It's run on gas. And so anyway, the gas guy was supposed to come between 12 and 4, and he just over there knocking at the door right when it's time for me to be here with you guys. So thank you for giving me grace. I am a renter for the first time in about 3 decades, and so you got to be there when the maintenance guy calls. So anyway, everybody, just when y'all coming in, just put hashtag live like Deanne just did. Thank you very much. And I just want to introduce myself to you guys and tell you what I'm going to be talking about today. So my name is Dr. Cindy Stark. I am an internal physician practicing here in Gainesville, Georgia, in the North Georgia mountains, and I have been for about 13 or 14 years. And I have spent the better part of 30 years of my life training to become an internal medicine physician, thinking that I was really helping people with all kinds of diseases that they had. And I remember being fascinated more than anything by infectious diseases and the skin. And so I entertained thoughts a really, really long time ago about becoming an infectious disease doctor. And I worked at all the AIDS clinics. Hey, Melissa, my mentor. Thank you. Thank you for being here live. And I had worked at all these AIDS clinics and met the most amazing AIDS patients from all over Atlanta, in Ponce de Leon, down in downtown. And it became really apparent to me early on just how devastating and heartbreaking that was. So I said, well, I'm going to do something really not devastating or heartbreaking at all. And I'm going to go into dermatology. And then one thing led to another, and I went into internal medicine. And it has been a whirlwind of a career. It's been very, very satisfying in a lot of different ways. But what I became really, really good at seeing about, it probably started dawning on me around 2012, is that all of these medical problems that our patients have, that all of us doctors and surgeons are given medicines and slicing and dicing on people for, we are not getting that disease any better by our prescriptions and by our knives. I mean, and I'm not trying to sound morbid or anything this morning, but I'm just trying to be real and be honest with you. As a 52-year-old woman, the further I went into practicing medicine this way, and I see these precious souls, and they start around age 45. We start slicing and dicing on them to become skinny and thin. We get this bariatric surgery, and then they have these chronic backaches and degenerative changes and slip disc, and we start slicing and dicing on their backs. And then the worst is when we start literally cutting off bits of their bodies, because starting from the legs up, and I've had several double amputations patients, and to get rid of the devastating effects of diabetes. And I just started seeing these people, and I just watched them. We were mutilating their bodies, and we weren't doing anything to yes, Jessica is one of my nurses. She and I have gone through the same exact thing together, and it just gets to the point where you've trained your whole entire life, right? I started at age 17 with this love of science and this love of math, and I said, I am going to go and save the world. At the time, I thought I was going to cure cancer. And so you spend literally 3 decades of your life and all your money and all your parents' money training yourself to help people, and then you're just watching yourself mutilate them. And I don't do the mutilating because I'm not a surgeon, but I give the medicines, and I save people's lives that are just, I mean, it's so incredibly apparent that they're trying to go to their maker. And anyway, I'm not trying to sound morbid, but I just realized there was a much better way that I could help people get healthier. And when I started on a health journey of my own, a self-health journey of my own, starting like in 2012, and I started going through all of these nutrition courses and learning all about everything in the environment, and how related to the trees that we are, and about earthing and getting all that earth energy into our bodies. And I started learning about all the chakras, and I started learning about ancient Asia. It's just getting me so excited to even think about it. But I started learning about all these ancient Asian principles, and I realized that I really can help. Hey Pat, good morning. How are you doing? And hey Brenda, I realized I could help people a lot more if I would get them about 4 decades before we were starting to cut on them. Okay, and I realized that the more and more that I studied in this, okay, so none of this was taught to me in medical school. This was all, I spent tens of thousands of dollars, and again, ever since 2012, so that's almost a decade, teaching myself this. And you have to really want to learn this stuff. But I learned how to go in and get rid of all of the trauma that has been stored in my subconscious mind. And that's where actually all of the origins of diseases are. Little tiny electric changes that go from something that's happened to us, a person, place, or event, plus an intense emotion, causes trauma. We start filling up these gestalts in our subconscious mind of fear and anger and sadness and guilt. And out of that, when they start overflowing and they start spilling out, they just wreak havoc with all these stress hormones all in our bodies. And I just want to tell y'all this morning, it doesn't have to be that way. And if you go and I think about it, let's just say, I mean, I have something actually that's happening in my own specific body right now, and I may have talked about it here a couple of weeks ago, but I'm in the process of investigating what in the crap is going on. But I've been stuck in a relationship that with my ex-husband for 16 years, and I have not been able to speak my mind, and we were not growing together. And anyway, long story short, it was causing me a lot of stress because I was like wanting to work on it and he wasn't, and I just felt so obliged to be there for my kids, and I was just like butting my head up against a brick wall. And this was like the one person I could have found, and the one scenario that I could have found to make this belief system that was deeply buried in my subconscious mind that I never even knew that I had, that I was unworthy of protection due to some sexual trauma I had unfortunately suffered and endured when I was 14 to probably age 16 in my own house, and in my own bed that I should have been protected at. And so I had found this relationship to just sit here and make my belief system true that I was unworthy. And so after 16 years of doing this, it has caused, and being in this relationship where we're not growing together and we don't talk, and there is no hey Jenny, there is no mutual respect where we're growing together and learning together and living together. What it has caused is an excessive cortisol production in my body, which has led to an excessive acid production. I believe this is all me. I'm telling you my hypothesis. I'll come in and report to you and tell you if this is true, because I'm undergoing some diagnostic procedures right now. But my esophagus way down here, I can swallow, but then when it gets to be about right here, my food gets stuck. And when food gets stuck at this part in your esophagus, there's these things called tertiary contractions. And your body literally, I don't know if it's diaphragmatic, I don't know exactly what muscle it is that causes the tertiary contractions, or if it's just your esophagus just come on, bite of food, go down. But life as I know it ends for anywhere between 30 minutes and 4 hours, as my body goes through this process, this painful, awful process of trying to get this food that's hung up in my throat. It's not my throat, but it's my distal esophagus down. Okay. So anyway, I'm trying to figure out what that is, if it's scar tissue, if it is, what can be done about that. But I realize that what doctors are going to do is they're going to, and so again, I'm walking this journey out with you guys in real time. But I have a feeling if that's what's going on, which I think it is, because I've already had the first test and it just showed complete blocking of my esophagus. The tablet just got stuck, completely lodged where the stomach and esophagus is supposed to go together. Anyway, I'm not trying to get too much into this story, but if what they want to do is stretch it and then give me acid reduction therapy to help suppress the acid, I just want to let y'all know that can be one piece of the puzzle that gives me relief and lets me eat again like a normal human being. But it's just going to come right back. if I don't change something in my life that caused that cascade of events for the past 16 years. And if most people are sitting there believing that the cure is in the stretching of the esophagus and in the bottle of pills and in the surgery. I mean, what if they wanted to cut out that whole entire part of my esophagus? Oh, well, that would help me swallow because that's gone. Well, then it's just going to happen further up in my esophagus. So it just has dawned on me, not only seeing my patients, but now, my God, now it's happening to me in my own body, that you can work hand in hand with your doctor. They can give you the diagnosis and do whatever they can do, but then you got to do something to help everything else get better way further down before that inciting event happened that caused you the pain. So I hope you guys are following me. So what I wanted to tell y'all this morning is that short-term stress is okay, and actually we are adapted to go through short-term stress, and this is how I see it. I was going to do this talk in my hospital this morning, and a turn of events happened, and I'm glad that I didn't, because now my gas is getting turned on. I'm going to have power. So this is like the level of stress here, the cortisol, and this is the passage of time. So what we're meant to do is like how we're designed is we can have short periods of stress, and then it's supposed to go all the way back down to normal, and then pretty much all day long you're supposed to not be in too terribly much stress, and it can go up again. Let's just say we were foraging for food, and then it's supposed to go back down, and on and on and on and on and on. But what happens in humans is that, and I'm going to try to get into that today if I haven't already just spent entirely too much time talking about my esophagus. Yes, the cure is not in symptom control. All that is just getting rid of the symptom. The cure is in fixing the inciting event that started it in the first place, okay? And that's what I'm going to try to talk to y'all about today, and this might be a two-part talk because I'm just so fired up about it. It's what made me completely change my career path at age 52 and start this whole entire program to help people learn how the healing of your body is in your own ability to rewire your subconscious mind, okay? And it's just fascinating. And I really want to get through all the stuff that I want to tell you guys about. So anyway, what happens is we don't go through little periodic times of stress like this, okay? What we end up doing is we get on Facebook first thing in the morning and we see somebody's got invited to a party that we weren't invited to. And then we hurry up and shove coffee down our throats, and then some crappy ass breakfast like a pastry or something, and then we maybe get a little bit decrease of a stress when we get to see our kids and hug them, but then we start fighting with our husband, and then we start getting in really terrible traffic, and then we might calm down a little bit when we're finding a good parking space, let's just say that, and then we go to work, and it's like constant stress. You can just see what the area underneath this curve. That's what our bodies are like. And when we have that much stress and cortisol in our body, it is wreaking havoc on our bodies, okay? So what happens is that, again, there's this connective tissue in our body. Let's just call it connective tissue, collagen, and it can become so hardened and restricted with this. It's like just you're bathing in an acid bath. Just think about it like that. Has anyone here ever made pickles? Do you know what the acid that the vinegar turns a cucumber into? Completely different being altogether, right? Well, that's kind of what is happening in our body, okay? So we are bathed in this cortisol. It is causing all kinds of problems. It starts with our connective tissue that's just supposed to be so elastic and just so malleable and movable, and then it just gets like this, and it just gets like concrete. And what we do is, you think that, oh, well, if I get stiff, I can just, get a massage, or I'll just put some heat right there. Thank you, Jessica. Or I'll just take some Motrin. But all that's doing is that's just masking the actual symptom. What we have to do is go way back over to our subconscious mind and realize that your subconscious mind is able to put your entire body into an emergency type event with one thing and one thing only, and that's our thoughts. Think about a terrible fight that you had with your mom, your dad, your significant other, your kids, your sister, whatever. And just think about how fired up it got you. And God wired our minds, our subconscious minds, to work through our five senses. And all we have to do is think about it or see a picture, or smell a smell, and instantly our body is right back into this fight or flight emotion. And then the emotion leads on into the behaviors. The behaviors will lead on into this trauma, and it'll lead on into this damage. And it first just starts at an energy level, a thought. It's just an energy, okay? And it sends out that signal to a group of cells. And then if the energy is chaos, and then the group of cells is chaos, and then it gets onto enough cells will go into a tissue that's chaos, and then your whole entire life is just like chaos. And you're wondering why you are having chronic pain. You're wondering why you have diabetes, strokes, heart attacks, cancer, the whole nine. It is like what's going on in our subconscious mind is like downloading this vapor. If you don't want to think of it as energy, you can think of it as vapor. And it's telling your genes what to turn on and what to turn off. And if all you are doing is going into a doctor to fix the thing that's way downstream, which is when you actually have the pain or you have the cancer, I just want y'all to know that is not a cure. And yeah, the brain's alarm system stays stuck in the on position. It's like on. And the body is constantly in this alarm state. And if you think about it, we fall prey to it. Thank you, Deanne. That's exactly right. We fall prey to it like we are willing partners in this by these things right here. Our cell phones, right? And on the back, I don't know, I think mine's covered up with my pretty little pop socket, but it even has that apple on it with the bite out of it. And the reason it did that, in my opinion, I have no idea if this is right, but it's just like the original sin, the Adam and Eve, Eve talking Adam into taking that bite out of that apple. It's addictive. And it's just like the people that run these things, and it's not just the cell phone, it's also, of course, Fox News or any other kind of news. It's also the drive-thrus. They know exactly how to get us addicted. They know how to, there's I'm sorry, I'm so getting off on tangent, but I am fired up about this. But there are whole entire groups of scientists that are hired by Doritos. Let's just say Doritos, okay? I know that Doritos hires them, but they're everywhere. Probably Dunkin' Donuts too. I don't know. Just anything that's really bad for you. And they have found a way to make our food hyper palatable. Has anyone heard about this? Just raise a hand or say yes, I've heard about this. I don't even know if people know about this, but I get so fired up about this because I'm really into, when I became a mother, I started realizing just how much I could affect the taste buds of my kids because by what I put into their mouths, and I'm training their bodies. Yes, Jessica and Deanna both heard of this. You are my people. But the human tongue was not meant to be stimulated by like 18 different ways. It was just meant to be stimulated by one. Like the sweetness of a pineapple. The sweetness of a pineapple is so, I just ate some a little bit ago. It's so sweet and so incredibly delicious. But Dunkin' Donuts will add like 8 times that amount of sugar, and then it'll add this fat content, and then it'll add this salt, just certain amount of salt, and then it'll add just the right amount of crunch and crisp. And so then you got these textures going on, the salt and the sweet and the fat. And now it is like an orgasm in your mouth. Like it's like your tongue is on crack, I mean, that there are scientists that is their job to make us addicted, not only to the food, and Doritos does it too. What in nature would ever have the flavor and the texture of a Dorito? I mean, that's why you say, and then they come up with slogans, you can't eat one. And I know that's Lay's potato chip, but it's the same exact thing. And then the news will do the same thing. Scientists to tell you exactly what shade of red and exactly what shade of blue and exactly the font. And it says alert. How many alerts can you have on in one day? I mean, I was watching it when I was living with my ex-husband. I was watching it, Fox News, all the time, and it was the exact same story on regurgitant, like it was every 6 minutes was the same story, but every single 6 minutes it was alert, breaking news. Yes, and once your body can calm down and you are detoxed, food can be amazing. I mean, like I literally, when I get myself off refined sugar altogether, the sweetness in a pecan is just like so perfect. The amount of sweetness in a pecan, and if you're used to nothing but Brewster's ice cream and Dunkin' Donuts, then you would never even think that a pecan was sweet. So anyway, um, there's a lot of a body of science out here to help us get addicted, and unfortunately, once we do get addicted, and it's the same thing with our emotions, we get addicted to that level of cortisol. We get these belief systems in our brain, and then our subconscious mind will, it helps us survive that initial event, and then it helps us scan and find other people and systems where, oh yeah, well, you know what? I've never had unsweetened tea, Deanne, because I was raised in the South and we were raised on sweet tea, and so I never even had unsweetened tea. But so I only drink water, so I don't even know that. I need to drink some unsweetened tea. I've just never ordered that. I don't drink sweet tea either, not anymore since I was past 10 years old. But anyway, I'm getting off into a tangent about food, and it's really not what I was wanting to talk about, because but it's the exact same principle as what goes on in our emotions and our belief systems and our toxic relationships. They're toxic to us, and there is I don't even get that joke. Unsweet tea, get a rope. Anyway, uh, it is just a fact that the stress hormones will cause changes in our genes that lead to disease. And because I was telling you that God made our minds work where our thoughts are actually enough to completely flood our whole entire subconscious mind with the actual emotion and chemical changes of the initial event, then we are held captive to our thoughts. And I'm just telling you guys, when you don't have control over your thoughts, you don't have control over your lives. And there's only one way to get control over your thoughts, and that's to go in and clear out the reticular activating system and get rid of all that damage that's in there, that's making us keep seeking out the exact things that happened to us in the past. And I can't go into any of it because I've already talked for 25 minutes and I'm going to have to wrap it up here. But just go back to one of my other lives. I've been doing these lives every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for about 10 weeks now, 10 or 12 weeks. So just go in there and look at it. Look at those other talks, okay? And if you have any questions, drop them below, all right? And any of you guys that are coming in here as a replay, you weren't able to catch me live, please hit hashtag replay and let me know where you're from, because I love seeing where everybody is from. And again, I just, the whole entire reason that I started my program, Reclaim Your Life and Health, and I also call my actual 12-week transformational health program Soul Circle Academy, is because we are physical bodies, okay? These things, we are physical bodies that house a soul, and the soul is energy and spirit, okay? And until you know how to command this skin that we live in, literally, your soul and your spirit can't do what it was designed to do. And we were all uniquely made by God to carry out a very specific soul mission on this earth in the amount of time that we have left. And who knows how long any of us have left, People have just, I don't know about you guys, but people have been transitioning and going up to their Heavenly Father left and right in my particular life. Michelle's coming in live. She's from Maysville. She's saying, control your thoughts and peace results. Your program works. The results are seen in me. Michelle is my poster child. This woman has gone and fought for herself every single day. She's only been with me, Michelle, 6 weeks, I think. She has already completely cleared her reticular activating system. She does it self-directed every other day in my group. I walk with you hand on hand. You get your own personal coach, and we do clearings in the privacy of your own home, so you can get rid of the traumatic events from every single person, place, or thing that's wreaked havoc in your life and caused trauma in your life, because that is coloring the filter by which you see your life. And Michelle has done all of her emotion clearing. She literally couldn't even remember this rage that she was clearing. She couldn't even remember what it was 5 or 10 minutes into the process, because all of the energy of it just drained out of this subconscious mind, and the filter started getting cleaned out. And so we're doing her beliefs a week from today, and then she's going to be free again. She has been in shackles for 62 years. If I'm getting your age wrong, Michelle, pardon me, I don't have it right in front of me, but she has been in shackles to some terrible events that happened to her, probably from infancy. I don't even I shudder to think of exactly when it started happening. But she's an ordained pastor, and she was living in shackles of the trauma of her childhood, and now she's free, and it's just, there is no other healing program that's going to help you. There's no other psychologist that's going to help you. There's no bottle of pills that's going to help you. All that stuff is really great at the beginning, just like to calm, the pills, if they're going to, they just kind of move around the amount of neurotransmitters that are in your brain anyway, and they might be able to calm you down so you can get out of the fight or flight right away. But none of that's really going to help you long term, because the minute that your body sees, the minute you stop taking that pill, or the minute you stop talking to that counselor, and then your body sees evidence of 99% of your life that to say, yep, you are unworthy, yep, you are unlovable, yep, you are stupid, fat, ugly, whatever you want to say. I mean, it's just our bodies and our minds are just masterpieces at distorting our truth and just wreaking havoc in our lives. And if you want to have control over your life, please give us a call. There are people here on our team that are waiting to help you. We will see if you are ready to do the work. If you're not ready to do the work like Michelle, then just keep coming in here every Tuesday at 10 a.m. I promise I'm going to keep coming in here and helping you just learn how to master this matter between your mind so that you can have control over your life, because your healing is not in the hands of doctors, scalpels and knives, or bottles of pills. It's in you and what God equipped us with. Once you know that you can re-equip yourself, you have so much self-trust, and you will be able to completely repurpose and resource yourself for the rest of your life. And it will just be my pleasure and my honor to help usher you into that state of healing, because this healing is everlasting. And once you do this for yourself, no one can ever take it away from you, because it's just between you and God. It's not in the hands of someone else. It's in the hands of you. Anyway, I will go through and do my part 2 of this talk next week, because I didn't get into any of my notes that I had taken, because I just started getting really fired up. But I just it's my passion and my honor to teach you guys what I know and what I think that the mainstream I don't know if it's public health. I don't know if it's FDA. I don't know if it's just they're just trying to get us addicted to things so that they can control us. I really just have no idea why the state of health is what it is in America right now. But I am here to show you how there's another way to be, and how you can have the life and the health and the peace and the prosperity and the energy and the relationships that you always dreamed of. Deanna is saying we are designed to heal. We just need to learn how to do it. That's right. Because like I said, if you can't learn how to take control of the physical body, then our spiritual body that's in there is just sitting there withered away and not getting to do anything that it's supposed to. But anyway, you guys, I love you. I hope you have a great rest of the week, and I will see you next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern for part 2 of this talk. And then I'll also drop my a link to book a call if you want to talk to me and just see if you might be ready for long-lasting, lifelong healing. You guys have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.